it wasn't, it didn't feel enjoyable to go to work. But when you actually see it, you actually feel it. You come in the building every day, and Pete, 70-something years old, man, and you know what I'm saying, he first one in, last one out. He always pumped, ready to go. Why not match that energy? Who am I to say, I'm tired? Pete 70-something. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And he bring the juice every day. And it's kind of like, okay, like, and it just, you ever, you know what I'm saying, at your desk and you just feel energy, and you just look back, trying to figure out who that was. You know what I'm saying? You can feel that shit. It's a great feeling.
Rob, you've worked in the past with Mike Tomlin and Bill Belichick. What similarities, what differences do you see with them and Coach Carroll now a couple of weeks into OTAs?
Yeah, I think every coach have their differences, and I'm not here to compare because they're great coaches in their own lane. Bill's great in his lane, Pete is great in his lane, and Mike T is great in his, and they all been champions. I think the one thing that do make them all the same is they all been there, and they all have held that Lombardi, so they know what it takes and stuff like that. But like I say, man, Pete is in his own lane. Pete is leading in his own way, and with his energy, his desire, his standard, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, get on this train, because if you're not on this train, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna find somebody else to do it, and it just is what it is. And in this league, man, this is a competitive league and stuff like that. And all 32 teams got the same goal, and that's to hold that Lombardi. And if I feel like, me personally, if I come here one day and feeling sorry for how hot it is outside, just check the process. Because if I'm not every day with the mindset of leading my room, being that leader on defense, being the green dot, bringing the juice every day to make sure that we at the standard that we need to be at, then I'm just cheating the process. And that's one thing that I heart myself in every day I wake up. You know what I'm saying? Once I hit the doors, I'm like, let's go. You don't think like that, this motherfucker don't get tired. I changed once I got to the door.
Patrick was just saying that even though he hadn't coached you before, that it seems like you're on the same wavelength. Yeah. You kind of know what each other's thinking without talking. What ways have you seen that come across?
It's kind of crazy. It's like growing up in the same household, but in a different generation. But the household didn't change, it's kind of the same. So like when he talk, like I'm just kind of zoned in on it. I spent a lot of time with PG, and stuff like that. We only get a certain amount of time in the building. And shoot, I'm trying to pull up on PG at his house and everything. Like, hey, let's talk a little ball, because we only get so much time in the building. But just knowing how PG came about and his pedigree and his philosophy behind the game, I just know, like, it's never a dull moment. I can't text him and just or pull up on him or just ask him, man, let's talk ball, because I know, man, I'm telling you, PG the type of guy, he wake up in the morning, he think about football. He can be eating something, he think about football. He can be watching what's it, AFL? He can be watching the play, he just start calling plays. Why do I do this? Because he's that locked in, and stuff like that, man. He's a great coach, he's probably even better person, man. And he's a man of integrity, but at the same time, when it comes to this football, he's not cheating the process and stuff like that. And I love just being around that. And like I said, just knowing where he started, I can kind of talk his language. I can feel where he's coming from with certain things. I can kind of, beat him to the punch on certain things, not trying to, but I'm just like, hey, like to do this, or if we see this, I know you call this, but would you like to get into that type of? He said, nah, hold off on it right now, maybe too much. And I'm like, okay, but like, hey, I'm seeing where you're going with it, just from us kind of being in the same system and similarities. And he got new obviously he didn't create his own type of schematics around defense, but he's still pulling from the same type of trees, and he's just blending them all together.
At this stage of your career, why is it important for you to take it that extra level where you want to pull up, like you said, at his house to talk football? Why at this stage of your career are you still invested that deeply?
Because every day matters. I ain't getting no younger. I might be out there moving like I might look, but I ain't getting no younger, and the older you get, the more you start appreciating day in and day out, because I can't get that time back and stuff like that. And I'm in the business of saying, not if I would have did this, if I would have did that. I'm in the business of now, no matter how I take it. And one thing I do know about leadership, just coming up as a young, but leadership is lonely. I promise it's lonely. But at the end of the day, the loneliness ends when you're holding that Labardi at the end of the day. Because everybody you push, including yourself, you strain your family, you strain your coaches, you just always want the extra to just make sure. And people might get tired of you, but one thing I know, when you holding that Labardi, they're gonna come up to you and say, "I appreciate that." And that's all I want. That's all I want. I don't want any fame behind it. I want all my teammates to be able to feel that. I want Vegas to be able to feel that and stuff like that. And it starts in practice. And yeah, we get up here and we talk about it with y'all, but we gotta bring it every day to the practice field. I feel like that's what people is doing for us.
You talk so highly of PG. I feel like you missed him by 1 year in New England, 1 year in Miami. Like, is it almost fate that brought you together with him?
Man, if I didn't want to get fined, I would tell you how I really feel. But he was running from me, you know. Put a little two letters in front of him. He was running from me. I got him. I said, "God damn, it's about time." What's up, man? He laughed and stuff. I'm like, "God, they running from me." I'm telling you.
If you would take a second to be selfish, at this point in your career, to be playing under Pete, to be playing in this regime and this era where everyone seems to be really bought in, how does that excite you? Just the potential that you have for growth personally.
Oh man, it's not selfish. I feel like if I'm not coming in here every year trying to grow, then I'm just stuck in my ways, and it's an adaptable business and stuff like that. And I'm always adapt. I'm always in tune with change. These offensive coordinators, they get smarter and smarter. They scheme it up every year better and better, even week to week. And you gotta be able to adapt. You can't be stuck in your ways. And seeing new things and seeing just new concepts across the league. I mean, even Chip, man, I'm in the lab. I'm like, he would not get me tomorrow. Him and Gino would not get me. I'm just, but it's exciting. It's exciting and it's good. It feels good to be able to say, "Hey, man, the offense got to say, like, we got to do this, we got to do that," because you get to winning and you think this, you think that. No, I like the back and forth because it's competition and it's fun for me and stuff like that. So to answer your question, I definitely, every time I come in, I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to think about how offensive coordinators are looking at certain situations, what type of situations they're trying to put us in, and stuff like that. Because it don't just make me a better football player; it's making me a better communicator to be able to communicate to my defense about the situation that we might get put in, so that it's not me making the play, but Lonnie might be able to jump around, Chin might be able to jump around, or Max, he may just not even without getting a sack. I'm like, "Hey, quick game. He got to get his hand up, back the ball down." So we all winning it down just off communication. It might not be me making the play, but it's the Raiders getting off the field. So we give our offense another opportunity to get on the field.
What is
Two more. We're gonna do 2 more.
What is that challenge like? You mentioned Chip Kelly, and he ain't gonna get me. What is that like going against that offense every day?
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. I don't want to put it out there. But, we still gotta compete. Maybe I'm telling y'all, other teams be looking at this. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna put it out there, but no, they doing a thing on that side of the ball. Trust me.
But you're being brought in as a culture setter, and Max Crosby has long been like the heart and soul of this franchise and the leader in that locker room.
And he still is.
Still is. Mm-hmm. And just working with him hands on now, like what has that been like?
It's been great. It's been great. And you just said all the things that he is, and me. What I appreciate most about Max is when I got here, and even us talking day to day, he's like, I want you to lead. I want you to do this. He's embracing me. I'm telling him, hey, so we're embracing each other, and he don't feel like I'm stepping on his toes. I don't feel like I'm stepping on. And vice versa. And you just see like a true competitor, and the guy that's saying, "Look, man, I want to win." And stuff like that. I don't care about the individual goal. I care about the team goals, and that's just the type of guy he is. I'm enjoying it, and like I said, this is just the infatuation stage right now. OTAs, new coaches, and stuff like that. At the end of the day, we still got to get out there and we got to compete. But we're going to continue to take it one phase at a time. Right now, we're in the OTA phase. Then we got mini camp. Then obviously training camp. Then it's time to play real football and stuff like that. So
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you guys.